Thank you for tuning in to MacroView Television, and welcome to a brand new edition of Taiwan Outlook, the program that presents the different faces and let you hear their voices on Taiwan. I'm your host, Rui Guo. For each year, there are many overseas Chinese students who come to Taiwan to study. And for some of them, they have decided to stay in Taiwan after getting their degrees. And we're going to meet one of them on our program today. And he is Dr.黄轩. He's originally from Malaysia, and he's currently the Deputy Director of the Preventive Medicine Center at Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital. Welcome to our program, Dr. Huang.
Okay, I'm Dr.黄轩. I'm very happy to see you all here. I'm Deputy Director of Preventive Medicine in Tzu Chi Taichung Hospital.
Okay.
So I have three specialists, and I'm a specialist in internal medicine, respiratory medicine, and also critical care medicine.
Okay. Well, Dr. Huang, truly a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Okay.
First of all, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? We know you're originally from Malaysia.
Yeah.
You are one of the overseas Chinese students who come to Taiwan to study.
Yes.
You have decided to stay in Taiwan good for us for over 20 years. Tell us a little bit about your background.
My background, I was born in Penang Island, Malaysia.
Okay.
Maybe many years ago.
Yes, all right. Age is, of course, a secret. Yes.
When I was a small child in Penang Island in Malaysia,
yes.
I always imagine Penang Island is too small for me.
Okay.
Because I have big ambitions. I want to go out and to watch many
see the world,
right?
Yes.
See the world. And I open the map and see the world, and finally Taiwan, a very small, tiny island in the world that catch my eyes. And then I told to my dad, I want to go to Taiwan. He said, why? When I was small, I don't know why. I just want to go to Taiwan because I like Chinese.
Okay.
I like Chinese movies.
Okay.
I love a Chinese movie at that time. So I saw a lot of movie stars. They are very smart. Okay. So I want to go to Taiwan and to learn Chinese. But my father said, you can learn Chinese in Malaysia too. Why you want to go to Taiwan? Because if you want to go to Taiwan, you have to spend a lot of money from me.
Okay, all right.
Oh, it's a very difficult choice. So I have to prove myself. I have an ability, and I have a very strong interest for Chinese. So I read a lot of Chinese ancient paper, ancient Chinese books. And I will always discuss with my father.
Okay.
And he finally found that I'm truly very interested in Chinese literatures.
Okay.
So he should send me to Taiwan if have any opportunity.
All
so
right.
I'm waiting the opportunity after 20 years old.
All right. Let me ask you, Dr. Huang.
Yes.
What was your first impression of Taiwan? Because when you first came here at the age of 20 to study, you'd never been to Taiwan before then, right? And you said, according to our producer, that you said something like, even walking down the street of Taiwan, that even a blonde-haired foreigner can speak Chinese. What was your impression? And please elaborate on that first impression.
Well, first impression in Taiwan, I thought
people were friendly?
People working or people in the television, they are all, they should be Taiwanese and speaking in Chinese.
Okay.
So I could not imagine once the person with a brown hair looks like a Caucasian and speaking in Chinese, in
Mandarin Chinese,
in Chinese, in television. Even I'm walking on the street, they can speak. They could speak Chinese very, very good.
Yes.
I'm so surprised, and that time I realized Taiwan, actually, especially Taipei City, is an international city.
Okay.
That's why I call back to my
Parents, yes.
My father said, I met a good driver because the foreigner can speak Chinese too here.
Okay, all right. So, and let me ask you this then, Dr. Huang. You
Yes.
After studying in Taiwan at the China Medical University,
Yes.
why did you decide to stay in Taiwan? I mean,
Well, I
you
decided-
could have gone back to Penang and practiced medicine.
Oh, when I graduated from the China Medical University,
Yes.
I found that I do nothing. I got nothing. I feel a little upset because I don't know how to care the patients. So I decided to learn to make the medical research to make my master degree.
Okay.
So I don't want to go back to Malaysia at that time. When I have my master degree program,
Yes.
At that time, of course, I also met my wife.
Okay.
I'm falling in love with Taiwanese girl.
Okay.
So
You decided to stay and establish a career and set up a family as well.
Yes, and set up families and also study and continue my subspecialist.
Okay.
So I completed 3 subspecialists in Taiwan after a good training course.
Okay. And Dr. Huang, we also know that for every overseas Chinese student coming to Taiwan to study, you have to first complete a preparatory course at Taiwan Normal University at Shifan Daxue. And tell us a little bit about that program. What did you learn and what did you do in that preparatory program at Shida?
Okay. That's about 28 years ago. When
Yes.
I first came to Taiwan, I have to send to the we call it a pre-university prepare.
Okay.
Pre-university preparation for foreigner like me. Actually, in the Sida National Nominal University,
Yes.
I try to learn more Chinese.
Okay.
Because at that time they thought our Chinese not so good at all. Actually, my Chinese is very good enough. And
all right.
at that time, actually, I'm not choosing medicine as my first choice.
All right.
I try to choose Chinese.
Chinese literature.
Yes, as
right.
my first choice to enter the university.
Okay.
But at that time, my mother, she was suffer from cancer disease.
right.
So I'm very depression. And because when I look at my mother, I got nothing to do, just watching her and smiling with her and nothing to do. So I'm thinking that maybe if I could have opportunity to be a doctor, maybe I know more inside body what happened to my mother's body, and I try to maybe I can cure more life to save life.
Okay.
Because in many Asian poetry,
Yes.
they wrote a lot of the sensation of a life, with living and the death and the life between in the family or friends.
Okay.
So I think it's a very good choice for me to choose medicine as my first priority after I'm thinking after my mother had the sick.
All right, we're going to talk a little more about your passion for poetry in the next part of the program. And
Okay.
Dr. Wang, let me ask you this. I mean, after you attended preparatory course at the National Normal University,
Yes.
and then you were also selected as the first overseas Chinese students from Malaysia
Yes.
to win the Distinguished Alumni Award at Shida, at Taiwan, National Normal University. Let me ask you this: what does that honor mean to you, as the first Malaysian student, of Chinese descent, to win the award?
I think this award, before this award, I never get any award.
Okay.
Okay, because I just only involve myself to take my daily life, my daily career, my daily work. After they give me the award, made me realize that I'm not working, but I also want to share my experiences,
yes,
share my opinions or my career with younger students, younger boys, or younger overseas Chinese.
Yes.
Maybe they will encourage them to come to Taiwan, because Taiwan is a good city, as I told you, international city. So I think this award made me have a more stronger feeling that I have a responsibility to encourage my young boys to come to Taiwan.
All right. And let me ask you before we end the first part of the program,
Okay.
Dr. Huang, among your peers, for those of you who came from Malaysia, are more Malaysian overseas Chinese students decided to stay in Taiwan because they know what has happened to you? You have set an example for them.
Yes.
Has that been the case?
I think one of the younger students last year, last year, he was in preparatory program
Yes.
in National Nominal University. I was invited to give them a talk before they were graduated from that pre-university.
Yes.
So he wrote a letter to me to my email. He said very thank you to me because after he heard my talks, he feel very strong. So he want to choose a medicine as his first priority. So each year the pre-university they invited me to say a talk and encourage them that actually overseas Chinese, you can make a good choice, a good job, good career in Taiwan.
All right. And Dr. Huang, we've been talking about your passion, shall we say his passion, for Chinese literature, especially, Chinese poems from the period of, Song and Tang. And can you tell us, why do you like Chinese, literature so much, especially Tang Song the Shi Ci, and why do you like it so much?
Oh, one of the reasons I like this poem from the Tang Dynasty and Song Dynasty.
Yes.
Because actually the encouraging from my father.
Okay.
Because my father, I still can remember, he just brought a book with a very dirty book and say, this Tang Dynasty poem, you have to read it. And give me, and I read myself. This book is attract me more than textbook.
Okay.
That's why I always, inside my bag in my primary school, I'm always have Tang Dynasty Tang poem or Song Dynasty poem. Because when I feel that the teacher in our school say blah blah blah, oh so boring. I try to make a 白日依山尽，黄人入海流. It's better than I heard my teacher blah 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 blah. So it maybe this one is made me very feel happy.
Good.
Just like small boy, he got a toy or PC games. A small games will make him happy. But at that time we didn't have PC games. So we just have a small book. So I always keep the small books beside me. So it will make me happy. And then my father watching me and say, oh, this boy actually like Chinese literature very much. So he decided to send me to Taiwan.
Okay. And Dr. Huang, I have also learned a small story, shall we say. When you were little, you used to save your spending money and save enough of the spending money to buy the book 古文观止.
Yeah.
This is very unusual. Even for,
Are you sure?
Yes, for small kids in Taiwan, in China, I don't think many of them would would have done the same things as you did. Why did you do it? I mean, we understand that you have a passion for Chinese poems from Song and the Tang dynasties. But what motivated you to say, I want to buy 古文观止, so I got to start saving money?
I try to remember when I first watched the 古文观止, I just looks like a secret of a book, from Asian book.
All right.
I never met before.
All right.
In my mind, I still can remember there was
it was an eye-opening experience.
Yeah. It's a secret book, like our ancient Kung Fu, a secret book of a Kung Fu. And nobody want to buy it. I know nobody want to buy it, but it's too expensive for me. About 40 years ago, it cost about NT dollars $130. For me, the small boy, this book is very expensive.
Yes.
But it is a secret of a book. I don't know how to tell my parents. But sometimes parents, my father, my parents will give me 1 cent. I keep it. 2 cents, I keep it. I collect the money, save the money at least for 6 months.
6 months.
I know this book
is what you want.
Will buy this book. I want to buy the book because I'm a small boy.
Yes.
The boss, the
owner of the bookshop.
The owner of the bookshop, and he looked at me. You bought this?
Yes.
Yes. You read this?
Yes.
Yes. You. Not your father, not your brother.
No.
Yes, I read it. This is very interesting.
Yes.
When I bought it, when I went home, I just silently store in some secret place because I know it's too expensive. I don't want to get my parents know I bought this expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. So but one day my father said, "Oh, why this book?" When I reading the book, my father's behind me. I didn't know. So why you buy this book? Yeah, it's a very interesting book. Are you sure?
Yes.
So sure. And that time I'm reading the 陶渊明归去来兮. At that time, sure, it's very good. I just say. Close the book. I said, you listen to me, my father.
You can recite.
I can recite all the reading. 归去来兮，田园将芜，胡不归迹，自以心为心意，溪秋藏而独悲. And
he was very impressed.
Happy.
Yes, of
course. He was
course.
very happy.
All
He
right.
said, your Chinese better than me, so you better go to Taiwan.
All right, good. I certainly think your passion for Chinese literature has continued today because we're going to talk a little later in the program about your pursuit as a writer. All right? But let me ask you this. You are overseas Chinese students from Malaysia.
Yes.
That you have studied both in Malaysia and also in Taiwan.
Yes.
Let me ask you, how do you compare the educational systems in two places? How is the educational system in Malaysia similar or different from the one in Taiwan? Please.
For me, it's truly very different.
All right.
Because when I was a child, I was in the primary school.
Yes.
Even in the higher school in Malaysia, at that time, I just received a half day in the school. So after the 12 o'clock, I just went back to my home and threw my bag and went out.
Go out and play.
I go to play and play and play and play.
Okay.
I just always remember the natural view in my home. It's very beautiful, but I always try to destroy. Because when I saw a small plant, when I touched the small plants, the leaves of small plant were closed.
Yes.
We call it as a mimosa. Mimosa, the small plants. I want to check out where is the nervous system of this plant. So when I went back, and my parents asked me, what happened to your hands? You have wounded your hands. I said, I just dissect the plants and to see the nerves. Of course, they are ha, 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 ha. Yes. But the curiosity and the natural words in my home, and I think it's very quite different from Taiwanese children. Yes. Because maybe they even didn't have any tuition class at that time. Mm-hmm. So in my memory, I'm always playing around, and my parents say, where are you going again? Where are you going?
Okay, all right.
So, but maybe the different education, because when I was in Malaysia, I was playing around with the natural view. Okay. But here, you got a very restricted program.
Yeah, study the program. Yes.
Yeah, they did.
All right. And Dr. Huang, what is your view about the medical education in Taiwan? Do you think this is something that continues to attract talents like yourself from other countries?
Medical training in Taiwan actually is a very good system and very complex system.
Okay.
Because before we graduated from medical college, we had to practice as an internship doctor. Right. After that, we had to receive the residency training at least 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
Okay. After that, we still have to receive the fellowship training 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
So it's a very long
process
to train to be a doctor.
Okay.
And after you graduated all, after you completed all, you are not a good doctor enough because you have the more experience.
Of course.
So after I'm working here at least 20 years experiences. Mm-hmm. So it made me very proud. When I went out to international stage, I always use my Malaysia passport, and I'm on the stage. I say I will come from Taiwan. I want to talk to you my Taiwan's medical research. I think this is a very good program to make me very proud because the Taiwan medical education, they have a complete course to train to be a good doctor.
All right. I have about 30 seconds, Dr. Huang.
Yes.
Since the Taiwan program is very demanding.
Yes.
All right. Were there ever any moments in your mind say that, oh, this is too tough, I want to go back to home, to Malaysia? Has that ever occurred to you?
Yes. Before I met with the girl.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. In my mind, I want to go home. I want to go home. But when I falling in love with that girl and my wife, and then the mind of this maybe not appear very clearly because I think the words very small, very small. 3 hours or 2 hours we can airplane from Penang, Malaysia to Taipei. Yes. So it's very close. No, it's not far.
Okay, all right, good. Yes. We're certainly glad that you have decided to stay in Taiwan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm always stay in Taiwan, just like you.
Okay. Dr. Huang, you've been with Tzu Chi Hospital for 10 years.
Yes.
And you must have also done a lot of the overseas medical assistance work for the Tzu Chi Foundation. Can you share with us some of those experiences? Where are the places that you have traveled to?
Yeah, because in Tzu Chi Foundation, when the place or any place that have a disaster or needs to help, we are always prepare ourselves. That's just like our Master Zhen Yan said, life is always uncertainty. So we have to prepare ourselves. Now, I'm preparing myself. Not only I'm preparing myself, my whole team, all volunteers in Tzu Chi Foundation, they always prepare anytime they will go out to help the people.
Yes.
That's why I call myself, I have a rescue luggage in my home. What do you mean a rescue luggage? The luggage put everything rescue inside the luggage. Once a magician call from the Tzu Chi Foundation, want to medical aid or medical assistant works. So I just carry the luggage and went out.
Okay.
So it's very simple for me. So I prepare for any time. If you want to call me, I want to go anytime. Okay. And because when the volunteers not only included the doctor like me.
Okay.
Because in the first time, we want to provide the good medicine to the injured patients. But we also provide a good food for them in the first time, when the front line, not waiting until 2 or 3 days after that, because we need to eat every day.
Okay,
we need a drink in that time. And then we also supply a good place for them to sleep. You got to sleep. You're not waiting until 3 days after that. You not sleep. You will panic.
Of course.
So we also provided the kids. You must think the kids will lose their parents, they lost their home, they lost their toys, and you must have somebody to play with the kids. So with the rescue team, we not only included medical doctor, we also included many volunteers. The kitchen want to cook, and also many volunteers to accompany with all people in that movement. Okay. Because just like before happened in Nepal or Indonesia, our doctors received the call, and we just start to travel to that place within less than 24 hours. Okay. Because as a physician, I know the time is very important for me.
Of course.
Because when the time is passing away, it means the life will disease. So we should do this, rescue them as soon as possible. So we always prepare ourselves. Anytime, any minute, any second. You call me, I also come to see you.
Okay. And Dr. Huang, you have been in Taiwan for 28 years.
Yes.
How has Taiwan's medical environment and also the healthcare industry changed over the last 28 years? I suppose there are a lot of changes. Can you share with us your view?
The changes of Taiwan's health environment, one of the major reason is because of national health insurance.
Okay.
This is not happen in foreign countries.
No.
Not foreign countries. When I was travel to foreign country, 2 or 3 years, I just visited their emergency department. Yes. At that time, a patient came to their department. They were stopped to do emergency care, yes, or quickly respond to this bad situation. They are just ask the patient, did you got the deposit? Did you got the money? If you got no money, no deposit, how can I put a mask? How can I put oxygen to you? It will charge.
Yes, of course.
But in Taiwan, because we have a national health insurance, we try to save the Taiwanese life as soon as possible. Okay. We never delay to treat. So as a critical physician, I'm always I have the rapid decision and to the rapid changes to the critical care patients. So I mean this is a very quite difference in between the Taiwan's health environment with other countries.
Yes.
It's a very good,
different. Yes.
very big difference.
Okay. We also understand that you have continued and finished your PhD training at the Central Taiwan University of Science and Technology.
Yes.
And the reason, the motivation for you to pursue, in addition to your busy career as a doctor, to pursue a PhD is to help to ease the pain for your patients. And you use 2 words. I find them to be very interesting, Dr. Huang. One word is involvement. The other word is passion.
Yes.
Can you elaborate and explain to us why did you pick those 2 as your funding, consideration to help patients to feel less pain?
Because nowadays we have everybody have internet.
Yes.
You have going to internet, so everybody have their IP.
Yes.
I is mean involvement. P is mean patient.
Okay.
So if you want to, not only the doctor, not only the nurse, everybody, every professional, they have to involve themselves into their career. So they have keep on going their career slowly. They have the patient to burning out. So these two things are very important. So I try to explain to my students or my young doctor. So you are a doctor, you should have just like internet IP. You should involve yourself. So I involve myself in medical illness is very important because the doctor, when the doctor have a good patient, PASSION, good patient, to help the patient, it means you got a lot of emotion. And you must treat the patient like your family. And you treat him like your brother. And you were thinking that, oh, I want to do this decision, whether this patient can cure or can pain or very suffering or suffering from your treatment. Sometimes your treatment will not kill the patient, will suffer the patient.
Okay.
So you have a very good choice between the involvement, your professional and your patient emotion to your patient.
All right. Dr. Huang, you certainly have been very busy. In addition to being a PhD student, and also a medical doctor, you're also a part-time author. You write books.
Yeah, I write
One of the books you wrote is so-called 生命在呼吸之间, Life in Between Breaths. Okay, can you tell us, what is your motivation?
The life in between a breath. These book stories are always all stories about the patient and patients' families.
Or families, okay.
Doctors and nurses.
Okay.
And we know in Chinese, we are not discussing any dying, death, or any severe illness in our family, in Chinese family. So I'm a critical care physician.
Okay.
I felt a very sadness when I watching families crying and even panic, always panic, don't know how to make a decision.
No.
Of course, the patient were hopeless, watching you with hopeless eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we are human. The patient, he or she was a human. I'm also a human. Family is also a human. As a human, we know we have a very great humanity among us. So how to express this emotion? So because I like Chinese, so I wrote all this story inside a book. This book maybe help public, like patients or families, to understand, to be prepared. To be prepared that maybe someday, sometimes the uncertainty in life is coming. You should have a good attitude.
Yeah, healthy attitude.
Yeah, the good attitude to help yourself, to help your families to facing this disease or this dying or death. Not only patient or family, also the nurses and doctors.
Yes, that is certainly foundation on the two words that you use in patient-doctor relationship, which is involvement and passion. All right. We need to ask you this. We understand that Malaysian government and also the hospitals there have been recruiting or trying to attract Taiwanese medical professionals, doctors and nurses, to go over to Malaysia and work. And they offer very attractive conditions, including higher pay and assistance to the family, including educational subsidies.
Yes.
And what do you think? Do you sense a lot of the Taiwanese doctors are now thinking of going over to Malaysia and other places to practice medicine?
Yeah. Actually, not only for Malaysia try to attract Taiwanese doctor or Taiwanese profession, many countries, government, they try to attract Taiwan professionals go to their countries.
Yes.
Yeah. The most important point is to prove, just I want to tell you, Taiwan is an international city to have a good train for their professionals.
Yes.
So not only in Malaysia, so every country they say, oh, the talent program, they set a very good tax for you, not only for you, for families.
Yes.
And many countries like that. But yes, you mentioned one that the salary in many countries higher than Taiwan, in Taiwan.
All right.
But as my master Zheng Yan said, the money will not make you happiness, will not bring you happiness.
Okay.
If money can bring you happiness, the rich man can live this world without any unhappy.
Okay.
They still have very problem in rich
worries,
man.
yes.
Yes. So what you make you happy? Your love. When I mentioned you, my patient involvement is my love.
Okay.
I love Taiwan. Just I love my wife, the most beautiful Taiwan girl in my eyes.
Okay.
So I love her. Okay. So I think the love is very important for me. So that's why I'm still stating myself very good.
You're not leaving. Of course not.
I'm not leaving unless you kick me out.
No, that will never happen. Yes. Okay.
So I'm always along with you, with Taiwan. I think Taiwan is a very good place for all of us, not only for me, for all professionals, because it's a very good place to train to be a professional in Taiwan.
All right. But let's look at the situation from a different angle. There are more and more overseas students, whether Chinese descent or not, from Malaysia coming to Taiwan to study.
Yes.
I have actually one of them in one of my classes at Furen University, this semester. And there are primarily two considerations for many or most of these Malaysian students to come to Taiwan to study. First, the tuition, living expenses, and also the overall conditions in Taiwan is not so expensive, all right? That is very important consideration, including your own experience some 28 years ago, right? Second, they feel that today, Malaysian government and Taiwan government have a mutually verifiable academic record system. So the degrees they get in Taiwan will be admitted back home in Malaysia. So they feel like going to Taiwan, universities here will be equally effective for them to launch their careers later. What is your view about more and more Malaysian students coming to Taiwan to study?
I think you have mentioned one of the most important is the fees.
Yes.
The fees are very cheaper in Taiwan. In Taiwan. Actually, 28 years ago, when I consider come to Taiwan, the one of the issue because I looked through the fees. Actually, I have read the fees from Australia, New Zealand, Japan,
even Singapore,
even Singapore, they're very expensive. My father will very suffer. So, so I try to choose a cheaper one. And now, these days, because the Malaysia government and Taiwan's government, they have very good conversation in their certificate or their profession. They were admitted each other. I think what we call the international border, the border will disappear
yes.
because we need a global
global village.
Yeah, yes, within the global village, we will try to break down the border. So I think just I told you only the 2 hours or 3 hours. There's nothing different when you want to go back to Malaysia or when you stay in Taiwan.
Yes.
So as overseas Chinese from Malaysia, if they want to go come to Taiwan, I say the most important issue is cheaper, and then because the border will not clearly existed, and then the last one I told you before. In Taiwan, we have many good program, education program to train the professionals.
Exactly.
I think these the 3 factors are very attractive for not only the overseas Chinese, many other foreigners. They want to come to Taiwan, and they can learn Chinese. Also, they can speak their mother language.
Okay, and how about you giving them some advice?
Yes.
For Malaysian students who are watching our program today, they are thinking of coming to Taiwan.
Yeah.
What would be the advice that you would give to them?
If you want to come to Taiwan, I want to tell you, you just try your best to do your best.
Yes.
Even you are not the best like Raymond, like me.
Okay. So making that commitment is very important.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And also for your fellow medical professionals.
Yes.
Some of them being approached by foreign hospitals, institutions to go overseas to work, to teach. You have had experiences at least in Malaysia and in Taiwan. What would be your advice to them if they want to go overseas to work, to study, to live?
If you're from Taiwan, you want to go out to work or to be a very famous professional, one thing you must keep in your mind, being confident with yourself.
Okay.
Because Taiwan has trained you as a professional.
Yes.
You must be proud of this.
Yes.
So you have to keep confident with yourself, and when you walk out, and they say you are from Taiwan, it means you got a very qualified, very good professional. So you don't get disappointed. You always keep the confidence with yourself.
Okay.
Secondly, of course, you have to speak international language like English, or maybe Spanish or any Germanish language.
Yes.
You must have one of the international languages. So I think it's a very good two factors to push them to work in the outside of Taiwan.
All right. And Dr. Huang, listening to your conversation throughout the program today, we know that you certainly have a very enriching and also rewarding life so far. And given the fact that in your career, you have been, of course, a medical doctor,
yes,
a medical volunteer,
yes,
leading medical overseas missions,
yes,
and also you have been a teacher,
yes,
okay, a lecturer and also a professor, here in Taiwan,
yes,
and most importantly, that you have been an author. This is something not many people would expect.
Yeah.
Of all these different roles that you have played in your career, which one do you like the most, and why?
I choose author.
Author, okay, because your passion for Chinese literature.
Because the author, as an author, I can express many feelings of life. Maybe because I have a medical background. When I'm writing the story, I feel a little sadness, but this sadness will growing up to look through the life. The life is not only uncertainty, but the life is also fulfill its mercy. So I try to use my mercy. That's a teaching by my master Zheng Yan. I always mercy to everybody, to anything. I think the author, this rule were very important for me to have a more big, many biggest ambitious keep on going, not only today and also in the future.
All right. And Dr. Huang, the final question I have before we end the program today is that 28 years ago, you were able to convince your parents, especially your father, for them to let you come to Taiwan to study. Let's imagine if 28 years ago you did not come to Taiwan to study, you stay in Malaysia. How would you think that your life in Malaysia today will be different from your life in Taiwan after being in Taiwan for over 28 years? What would be some of the differences in your life today? Please.
I think if I'm not come to Taiwan, I'm staying in Malaysia. It's very difficult for me to imagine, but maybe one thing that I could imagine that maybe I still want to be an author.
Okay.
No matter I'm not a medical doctor in Malaysia or in other countries, but the author is very important because they said the author just like a philosophy to express the medicine, the life in our whole world. I think it's no matter you are in what countries, the life in the whole world, the life in your heart is a very good feeling.
All right. And certainly being a pleasure to have you on the program today, Dr. Huang.
Yes.
I want to wish you all the best in your future personal as well as your professional endeavors. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, you.
All right. Thank you very much for watching our program today. I'll see you next time on Macroview Television. Thank you.